Welcome back.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to the More Than Able podcast.
Yeah, we've been on hiatus for just a little bit.
Yeah, for a couple weeks.
Maybe 3 weeks.
I think, 3 weeks.
It's been...
Which, if you listened to our last episode, we were talking about our move, and we are officially in Arkansas.
Yep, we're here. We're settled. We're completely unpacked.
Yeah, we kicked butt.
Yeah, we did.
Which it helped
took
that...
some names along the way.
Yeah, it helped that we didn't have work.
Yeah.
I started work this week, so I had my first full week, kind of. Had a vacation day on Monday and got snowed out part of the day today. So I guess I haven't had a full week. Yeah, haven't had a full week yet, but yep.
It's a weird week that like we're having snow and it's like early January because that was not a thing in Texas.
No, it was not.
We maybe had ice early.
I don't even know if it was this early.
Yeah, I don't know.
Probably
it's like
not.
February or something, but
yeah, we are here. We got our house put together. We had all of our family here for Christmas.
Yeah, which is really cool.
Yeah, that's what we wanted to do, and
had a full house.
We did have a full house.
I think we had like 18 people.
It was awesome, and we haven't done that in.
I don't know that we've ever done that. I don't think we've ever had both of our families.
I think is what we did
for Christmas. Well, and that wasn't as many people.
No, probably not. And it was a lot smaller house too. But yes, we had a full house. It was great. And then we had some of our family show up for New Year's.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And
just hung out and played some games.
Yeah, had a good New Year's. Yeah. Had some friends over.
Yeah, I even had a couple of friends that we knew from before when we lived up here before, which was kind of crazy, but it was really neat to reconnect. And
and we've reconnected with some of the people. Well, we've talked to and seen some. We went to dinner with some friends, the Deckers and the Andersons. And so that was good.
Being here has been weird.
Yes, it has been weird.
It's just been a weird experience.
I think like what we've said, it's been like a weird extended vacation. Yeah. But we have all of our stuff with us. Yeah,
and I think because you weren't working until this week,
and the kids still haven't started school.
Yeah, the kids start school next week. And so, yeah, it has felt like we're in like an Airbnb or something, but we had all of our stuff with us.
Yeah.
It's just really weird. But then...
It's been weird. But it's been good.
It's been great. But also, like, just driving around the area, like, there's so much that has changed here, but then there's so much that is still familiar and still feels the same. Making the drive in from Bentonville to Pea Ridge, like we used to make that drive to go to our life group many years ago, and so to make that drive, it was just weird because it's like, is this real life? Is this really happening? It felt like we were kind of living in the past, but not. I don't know. It's just the weirdest.
That in all the years that we've come back and visited, that we've ever come down here to this area. And so, it's been a weird experience. It's been a good experience. It's been weird.
Yeah. It's been cool too, like just seeing some of the areas and like getting to point out to the kids, like, like we stopped by Kennedy Coffee one day, which is where we had our very first date. And so I was looking for some coffee and Eden went in with me. And so like showing her the booth where we sat and, talked for the very first time and just little things like that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it's been weird too to see things that like they'll spark a memory. I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't thought about that in years. Mm-hmm. Like just random stuff that doesn't even mean anything. But it's like I see a place and it sparks a memory, and it's just a weird experience.
Well, and it's been even more odd for me, or I don't know. Again, I don't know if that's a good word to use, or weird is a good word, but with my job, I'm now in the construction industry, utilities and excavation, and so I've been all over Northwest Arkansas this week. I mean, all over. If you could see a map.
I looked at. We have Life 360, there was one day that I was like, I wonder where Terry's been today, and so I scrolled. I think it was maybe yesterday, but I scrolled and I was like scrolling because it was like he was here and then he was there and he was there, and I was like, oh my word, he's just been all over the place.
And so like. We've gone places together as a family and seen things that have changed. But for me, like I've even gone even further out. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how many times this week I've had to pull up the maps on my phone. I'm like, where the crap am I at? Because stuff just looks so different. But
well, because you were the other day, you were like, you'll never guess where I'm at.
Oh,
and
yeah.
You were like right by where we used to live.
I was on the same exact street, just on the opposite end. And I was like,
but
where
it
am I at?
Totally different. Like I pulled it up on the maps, and it used to just be a big open field behind our house, and it was just houses now.
Yep.
And like we have pictures where we went like sledding and stuff one year back behind our house because it was just a big open field. And so it's weird to see like the changes. It's definitely I don't know that I had any expectations of like what it would be like once we got here, but I don't think it's been what I expected it to be. And I think I honestly expected to get up here and, well, I'll just say this. So when we moved to Texas, I was super homesick after we moved, which it wasn't right after we moved.
No,
it did take a little bit of time.
6 months or so.
But I was super homesick, and which we weren't in a good place when we moved anyways. No. But I just wasn't happy, and I was just missing home. And so I think I expected to feel more of that when we moved here. And I don't say that to say like I don't miss living there or miss all of our friends that were like family, because I do
family.
Yeah, I do miss them greatly. But I think because this is where I know that God has called us.
A sense of peace.
Yeah.
And not feeling out of place.
Right.
Like I've even told you this week, like my job, like it's brand new, but I just feel like that's where I'm supposed to be. Like it feels like home. Like I don't feel like the new guy, which has been great. It's been a super easy transition this week to get in there. And so it's definitely, I think those are the little type of things, and maybe that's a big thing. It's like it's just the confirmation that we were hearing God.
Yeah, and that we're in the right place.
Yeah.
And because I don't want if any of our friends are listening to this, I don't want them to think that
they better be. If they're not, I'm gonna call them out.
But I don't want them to think that we're up here like not missing them, like so happy to not be around. Like that's not it at all. But it's a peace, and it's not a like I can miss them without feeling like down and sad and crying.
Or did we make the wrong decision?
Right.
Yeah.
And because that's one thing, like I was so worried because there were so many times where both of us were having doubts, and and like, are we making the right decision? Yeah. And so I worried that once we got up here that we were going to be like, oh crap, what did we do? Yeah. And I haven't felt that at all. No. And I really believe like the doubts and stuff that we were having before, I know that Satan will try to do whatever he can to stop God's plans. And so I truly believe that was what was happening, that he was trying to keep us from actually moving.
Exactly.
And now that we're here, I'm not going to sit back and say like, oh, he's just going to leave us alone now, because that's probably not true. But I think he's a little like crap. Like I wasn't able to stop them,
One of the... You saying that spurred something. One of the notes that I had written down in my phone, which I wonder if it tells me when I put this in here. But anyways, it said, and this was before we had moved, and this was something that was spoken to me as not an encouragement, but as like a be prepared. Like, don't get lax. It said the attack is coming, so reach out. Call people, pick up the phone, be prepared for the attack. This is going to be hard. And then, of course, I wrote down a bunch of names on who I could call or who I could reach out to. And it's one of those things God is doing something. We don't know what or what his plan is or what it looks like. I think we just have to continue to pray for the next right steps. But knowing that we have taken this huge step in our lives, and knowing that we took the right step makes it easier. Like you said, we still miss everybody. Like, if I talk too much about it, I'll sit here and I'll cry. Yep. But it's been so great. Like, even on Christmas Day, having all of our family here. And something I had said before I started praying that day with all of our family was we were just blessed to be able to be in our new home with all of our family on Christmas Day.
Yeah.
And your family was there, and my family was there, and extended family. And so it was it was a blessing to have all of those people within our home.
Well, and then even just this week, yesterday, Hayden went to stay the night with a cousin, and he's never
been able to do
I
that.
mean, they're 11, and they've never got to do that before.
Yep.
And so that was a pretty cool thing. And even just something simple, like I went to drop him off and stood there and talked to your sister for an hour. And I don't remember the last time that just me and her had a conversation like that. And, you know, it was so nice to be able to do that. And actually, whenever I was driving home from there, it just felt normal. Like, it felt normal. Like, me going and I've never done that, but it felt normal just going and dropping him off and coming home. And as I was driving, it just kind of hit me that, like this isn't our norm. Like, this is new.
Yeah.
And how crazy and cool and weird and everything it is all at the same time. But I felt like just that simple thing of like being able to go and have a conversation with her, like that small of a thing was like, it felt really big to me.
Yeah.
I'm like,
yeah, because you talked to me last night about it and how it made you feel, and like it was really good and it was enjoyable.
These are the things that like we haven't been able to do, and I'm like, there's like, it's not just about a little conversation. It's about like the content of that conversation and like future of relationships.
Exactly.
And like, I know that God's going to do something in us here. He's going to do something in other people here. I'm hoping He's going to use us to do something in other people. Yes. And so like, we have no idea what the future holds. I don't know what the next 30 days looks like. I don't have a job yet. And
God's gonna work that, and that's the thing. God's going to work it out. Like, well, and for all of y'all that are listening, if some of y'all are like, what in the heck does it have to do with marriage? You know, this is kind of like, we did a bonus episode before we left Texas, and this is kind of similar. It's just like a bonus follow-up, like a second part of that bonus. I say that because there's so much more to your marriage than just each other. Yeah. Like you were talking about, like income, jobs, our church home, our kids, like all of those things are intertwined into marriage. And so, we've talked a lot about before we moved, how great it'll be to be close to family. And, there was even one day that I had just taken some of the boxes to the recycling center around here. And, I took trash up to work is what I had done. And I was literally 5 minutes from my mom and dad's house. So I just swung over and had a cup of coffee with my parents and sat there for an hour. I have never done that in my adult life. No. Not once. Now, there's been times we've definitely gone to mom and dad's and spent the weekend there or gone over and spent the day, but I have never lived close enough to my parents to just be like, you know what, I'm just going to drive over and have a cup of coffee. No. It was just me. It wasn't me and you or me, you and the kids, it was just me and mom and dad. Mm-hmm. And so, like, that in itself is a gift. Yeah.
Well, just like I was talking about, like, with your sister, like, it's such a small thing, but it, at the same time, is such a big thing. Yeah. And so it matters.
It does. It matters greatly. And, of course, I can't see inside mom and dad's brain, but I could imagine that was great for them.
Oh, yeah.
And we've got to see your parents multiple times, and we've gone over there, and they've come over here, and same with my parents.
Yeah. When the kids went and stayed a couple nights with them, and, like, it's been a really... like full 3 weeks. Yes, I feel like the last 3 weeks have been
extremely busy.
Yeah, tomorrow is 3 weeks exactly since we moved, and it doesn't feel like it should have already been 3 weeks. Well, like there's just been so much happening.
Can count on one hand, maybe a hand and a half, how many times I've sat down on our couch since we've been here.
Oh yeah, just to chill,
just to sit down and relax and chill. Yeah, I
probably
think
more so
this week. Yeah, more so this week than any of the previous weeks. And even in those times where it's been like, okay, what needs done? I could have sat down and done nothing, but that's not who I am. I'm like, there's stuff that's got to be done, so I need to do it. And so there's not been a lot of downtime. There's been a lot of great moments. Like I said, we've spent a lot of time with family, but it's been not chaotic, but definitely busy.
Yeah. And, we had the first few days here, it was a whole lot of just trying to unpack stuff as quickly as we could, because we knew that we were hosting Christmas, and we had 9 days from the day we moved until Christmas came, and we knew all of our family was going to be here. And so we were just, before we moved, we were like, we got to get the main living spaces unpacked in that time.
Yeah.
And I think in those 9 days we had most of everything done. Yeah,
most
like all the rooms.
Yeah.
But I think it's because neither one of us were working, and so we literally had all day every day just to like bust our butts on it. And I think within like 3 or 4 days of Christmas, we finally got the Christmas tree put back up.
We got decorations put up, Christmas lights put up.
Yeah.
So
and
it looked like Christmas here.
Yeah. And then we actually took all the Christmas stuff down on Monday.
The second, the first.
The first, it was on Monday. And so doing that allowed me to bring in one of my journaling desks, which was actually my work desk at the old house. My journaling desk is huge, so it remains in the garage. But
well, and that's the other thing. Like, you've got it put together.
Yeah.
You could use it.
It's my overflow.
Yeah. And I've got my quote unquote man cave put together
in the very, very cold garage.
Yeah. We were blessed in Texas. We had a heated and cooled garage, and this one is not. I've got a couple space heaters out there, which I'm more acceptable to that kind of stuff. I'm good standing out there, but
we were recording in our garage
so
at the old house. We are not in there today. I said no.
I was like, I can put both those heaters on. Can you man up and sit out here?
Nope.
She said, no, I'll be best sitting out there shivering the whole time.
Yep.
So, but it is quite a bit colder here.
Yeah. But so I got a journaling desk set up in like the dining room area, which has been really nice, which has allowed me just a time and space to have for myself, and to kind of get my blog back up and going. And I've made a couple of blog posts, and my hope is to keep up with that on a more consistent basis. And Project Date 28, if you are curious.
Yeah. Check it out. It's really good. And she just, like I said, she just put a new one up, and I read it, and it was really good. And obviously, we've got this set up so when we can jump back into this. And now that our house is put together and we're going to be more on a routine. Yeah. So the kids start back to school first of the week. And so we're still looking for a church home. Yeah. We've been to church the last 2 weeks. We went to their Christmas services. And then we went to a normal service, obviously, this past Sunday. And it was really good. And we had a good sit down. The pastors actually invited us to lunch. And we talked to them for a couple hours. So it was really great. Yeah. And then we went Wednesday night of this week, and Eden got to check out youth. We haven't made any decisions. We haven't felt like God's like, that's where you're supposed to be. Or that's not where you're supposed to be.
Right.
We knew coming up here that we were going to do like we did when we found our old church home. We were going to try a couple places, and we were going to go for a couple weeks and just listen to God and wait for his plan and his timing. It has been great. Last week was a great service. The worship was great. But I haven't felt that I haven't felt God say, okay, this is where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
And so we're still waiting on God's plan when it comes to that. I'm going to het you, bless you, bless you, bless you. She's fixing to sneeze. And if I say that, see, now she's not going to sneeze. But it's been really good. We got to drive around and look at Christmas lights, and went to downtown Bentonville, which is the city we used to live in. I say city. It's crazy. Like, so I've been sitting in the truck for the last 3 days with this guy from work. And he was born and raised here, and so he talks about the city. And it's been kind of funny because he's talked about how many people complain about the traffic, and it's over congested, and there's just so many people moving this area. And the city of Bentonville is less than 60,000 people. Yeah. And we live in a little town 15 minutes from Bentonville called Pea Ridge, and the population here is like 7,600. So nothing compared to what we were in. Traffic is pretty much non-existent in my opinion.
Well, and I have to laugh because, you know, we're in like a Facebook group for the city of Pea Ridge, and there's people on there that will complain about the traffic in town and how much the town's grown. And I'm like, you just need to get out a little bit,
a different perspective,
so that you can appreciate your tiny town.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it is very small, you know. You got some nice little amenities for a small town, but
I mean, they got Dollar General,
really small.
A neighborhood market. There's a big Ace Hardware.
They got a Dollar Tree. Hello, where my Dollar Tree peeps at?
And there's Wendy's and a McDonald's and Sonic, and there's some locally owned Mexican places, and they have a gym. Like, there's lots of little things in the area.
Yeah.
But it is definitely not what we lived in, and I'm thankful for that.
Yes, it's been a very nice change of pace. It
Absolutely.
just feels slower. Well, and even like last night, we went literally right up the road, like I don't know, 1 minute up the road to a little pizza place, and had dinner, and we were talking about how friendly the people are. Like, it's what I grew up around, like the people that just will stop and say something to you.
They don't even know you, and they say hi.
Yeah, or, you know, they wave at you, or just little pleasantries that, you know, are very much small town life.
Well, and if you've ever gone down a dirt road or lived in a small town or even visited a small town, which I remember this as a kid, and you're going down the 2-lane road and the car coming towards you, and whoever's driving, they just wave.
Yeah.
They don't have a freaking clue who you are, but they wave.
They just wave.
And that's what our experience has been here.
Yeah.
You know, and it's such a simple, small thing.
Yeah.
But it feels really good.
Yeah.
And,
well, because it makes you feel like you're home.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it does. You know, it doesn't feel like you're in someone else's space. It feels like you're welcome.
Well, and like you mentioned last night going to dinner, and I just had an older gentleman walk up to me, and he was introducing himself to some people he was sitting down to eat dinner with, and he's like, I didn't get to meet you, but I thought I'd come over and say hi and ask how you are. And Eden's like, that's so weird. And I'm like,
no, it's weird because you don't know it.
Yeah. But
like, you've never been around that.
Actually kind of a normal thing.
Yeah.
People can be real people.
Yeah.
So, but like I said, it's kind of a bonus episode.
Yeah, we just wanted to take some time just to say, like, hey, we are still here. It's been a few weeks, but
we haven't forgotten.
No, we moved, and then there was Christmas, and then there was New Year's, and so we're gonna get back into the swing of it here, posting regularly, and this will be our final episode of season 1. We decided that we would start a new season with this fresh new season of our lives. Right. And so next week we'll have another episode that will be probably more topical based, like what we want it to be.
That's what we want it to be, and
that'll be season 2 episode 1. And so
and look, and we kept it short.
We did keep it short
saying,
this time.
We keep saying we're going to do it, and we haven't done it, and now we have.
So I think that this next season will be really great, both for the podcast, but also for us here. You know, I was mentioning before that I don't have a job yet, but I was actually, I wrote a new blog post today, and something I was talking about in that is that, you know, I don't have a job yet, and I don't know what that looks like going forward, and I don't know exactly how all the bills are going to get paid, but I have a peace. Like, I'm not worried about it. I'm not sitting over here going, oh my God, how's it going to work? Yeah. You know, what are we going to do? I just have a peace about it, and that's not me.
No,
that is not me. If anybody knows me, I am very much a, oh my God, how's it going to work out kind of person. Yeah. And so for me to have any kind of peace, I'm like, that's coming from God, because that's not my normal personality. I like to know how things are going to work out, and like, I like to see things on paper and how it's going to work out, and it doesn't really work out on paper yet. And so it would be real easy to freak out a little bit, but I know that, you know, God's going to provide. You know, he's shown us that time and again, and so I just have a peace about it.
Well, and that was something I had mentioned. So the first night that we were here, we had 11 people in our house.
It was awesome.
The first night we were here was awesome. And we had some friends of mine that had helped us move, and they'd actually come up from Texas, and Tyler and Tori and Billy and Hayden, and had a jam session. Like Hayden and Eden played and sang, and
not Hayden, our son.
Not Hayden, our son. Hayden's Billy's son. Hayden. But I had told the guys, we had walked through the house, and everybody prayed over the house. Yeah. We had anointed the house.
Which
we prayed over
really cool.
Every family member that was here, every family that was represented in our home. Even Hayden had a buddy. It's a long story, and how our move. It was a long day. Trip. It was a very long trip. Not everything went great, but it all worked out. So Hayden had a buddy come up from Texas after we had already gotten here to help us, to help them, and we prayed with him, prayed over his family. Mm-hmm. But one of the things that I told all the men that were here that night was looking at what our finances look like compared to what expenses are. It does not add up. Mm-hmm. But we know God gave me this job. God gave us this house. Mm-hmm. And whatever the job is that he has for you is going to be what he has for you.
Yeah.
And it's going to be exactly what our family needs. And we're just going to continue to trust and believe that he's going to work it all out.
Yeah.
Because he has.
Yeah.
Time and time again.
Yeah. That's what I was going to say. Time and again, he's he's proved himself faithful.
Yeah.
And so I know that he's not going to leave us in a lurch now.
Nope. So, well, to all of our Texas family,
we love you.
We love you. We miss you. We will be back. And reach out to us. Love y'all.